Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Lads Season 10 content, and I am joined tonight by the one, the only, Season 8 League of Lads champion and future Div 1 DPC gamer, ColonelSquid. How are you tonight?
Doing well, Badger. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, no, I'm fantastic. We're casting some Lads Dota. What we have here is record-wise, a very interesting series in the sense of not that it's a close series, but there's a big gap between the records. Team Bloosher Revamped currently are 12-4 wins to losses. They rank number 1 on the scoreboard currently, technically, given they've played a lot of matches. On the flip side is WeLostThis Bros, who are currently 2-10, and they're at the opposite spot of the scoreboard, so it's certainly a delta there in terms of the two teams' win-losses.
Yeah, this is one of those series that, in theory, should be a fairly effortless 2-0 for Bloosher Revamp, but if Bloosher Revamp F up and lose even just one game, it'll be quite disastrous for their record in terms of who they're losing to.
I mean, it's still be in a decent enough spot to, vie for that top 4 playoff seed, but the morale-wise, you want to win this 2-0 for sure. I mean, it's just, you definitely want to win this.
Yeah. As someone who has been in the top slot at groups and dropped a game to a bottom seed team, it really fucks with your confidence a lot. Be like, man, we lost to this fucking team. So I think Bloosher Revamps should not sleep on this game.
Listen, if you wanted to beat USS Guam, you shouldn't have picked Ogre Magi middle. That's all I have to say.
I do not take any blame for that game.
Didn't you
Zero
ask?
blame.
Didn't you ask for the Ogre though?
I was 17-1. How is that on me?
But did you get the W, Squidward?
I did not. I blame Fume.
I thought you were gonna blame Bulljax. I'll blame Bulljax.
I do blame Bulljax actually because he did not have a spare mouse and his mouse broke.
Maybe he should have played Ogre Magi then.
Oh, what can you do?
But
anyway.
Speaking of what can you do, we have some very meta standard start to the draft. Tiny, Beastmaster, Pangolier, Marcy, all good heroes, all banned. 5-pick Zeus. We spoke about Zeus the last time we casted, and the time before that, and the time before that. But if you want to reiterate, feel free to. Other than that, though, we have Viper, Tusk, 6-7, two very good heroes. Speaking of good heroes, it's the 8-pick Puck. You have the floor.
I am very surprised Puck made it to 8. That is what I will say. I understand some teams prioritizing the Zeus over the Puck, but I think that, man, maybe this Viper is like ultra comfort. I think they can play it like 3 different positions. I think they can play it 3-2-5, if I remember correctly. So it's like a very nice flexible opening pick, which is what you usually want for your first 2. And then I really like this Tusk hero, but man, it always feels bad when you give Puck at 8 is such a different beast because you get to pick the most broken mid hero of the patch and then protect it with 3 bans. Although that's interesting. Bloosher Revamped, I think the 2 heroes that Bloosher Revamped just banned are 2 of the best heroes against Puck mid. Those are heroes I would suggest banning. Maybe not the Necro as much, but especially the Sniper. I don't know if you how much Div 1 NA DPC you watch, but there was a game where Abed 5 picked Puck, and then I think they were playing Quincy Crew. Not Quincy Crew.
Wasn't it Felt?
TSM? I think it was TSM, because I think it was Bryle on the Sniper. They 7-picked Sniper, and Sniper was 35 and 25 in terms of CS at 8 minutes. It's just impossible to walk up to the lane as the Puck.
Oh my, that is a big CS gap right there. Oh, that's not good at all.
Yeah, it was something absolutely insane. Abed on his Puck had 10 CS at 8 minutes. It was I think he probably had more because he was just AFK farming a small camp, but it was nasty how hard he got thromped mid. So Yeah, I'm interested to see what Bloosher Revamped are gonna put mid as their puck answer. Void Spirit would have definitely been a good hero. I think the Void Spirit puck matchup is one of the most interesting matchups in Dota. It's like probably the closest thing to like a 50-50 throughout the entire game. Because I think
I just discovered something in my Discord settings. I'm going to, or not Discord, my Twitch settings. I'm gonna have to fix for my next stream. I just realized that
what did you break?
I didn't break anything, but it's more something I could have fixed months ago that I probably should
Hmm.
have. So it's been
Hmm.
broken, and I guess my lack of fixing it would be a problem, I guess.
Hmm.
But what can you do?
What can you do? They go for the Nyx, which either they're running the Nyx or Tusk 5, which is a little unconventional. Like if they're running the Nyx and Tusk 4-5 in some like in either position, it's kind of weird to have two melee. I mean, Nyx isn't ranked, but for all intents and purposes, he's basically just a melee strength hero with a point blank stun, no like mobility. So I don't love it if the Nyx Tusk is a support duo. I think they should move one of them to a core role, probably the Tusk. Even Nyx Viper I would like more, but I digress. I do like the Nyx pick. It's not unplayable for the puck by any means. Like, I mean, if Nyx is your worst matchup as puck, you're kind of fine. It's usually like Nyx is kind of that cherry on top that makes a hard puck game impossible. And so I hope that Dire doesn't just take the Nyx as their only puck answer.
If they have
I
like
think,
Nyx plus the Tusk plus some other soft counter to Puck, then suddenly you throw those three heroes together, it's like, oh, Carapace, Punch, Impale, other heroes' abilities. And Puck probably was going to either have to like go for an Aeon Disc or some like Yule Scepter item or something just to not die there, which certainly hurts your build up because you obviously want to go for useful items and not Aeon Disc.
yeah, I think well, we'll see. I would like some other sort of, I don't know how to put it other than threat to a puck, because Tusk and Viper on their own pose zero threat to a puck. If you're a puck and you see those two heroes, they threaten you like they have zero threat to you whatsoever. Nyx is like, I'd say a solid 6 out of 10 on the threat meter. Like if you're not careful, a random carapace on your orb can fuck you up, but like you can still push side lanes by like blink, waning rift, orb, and then just phase shift and then jump to your orb. And I mean, it's pretty impossible for Nyx to get you. So if you had some other sort of reach hero, maybe something that can rush Orchid, maybe something like a Ember with catch, you know, maybe Night Stalker, that sort of thing to like threaten a puck. So so far, I do like we lost this draft. I think it's very clear what they want to do. Like Centaur or Zeus, a lot of damage in lane. You've got a Witch Doctor, more disable, more sustain, gives you a lot more damage against tankier heroes. And then Puck is a lot of catch, because I think Witch Doctor, Zeus, Centaur, you definitely would need another catch hero. We see Ursa. Ursa's not really a threat to Puck. So I think what WeLostThis needs to round out their draft is just a pause one hero that can threaten to kill with a Witch Doctor in lane and takes towers. Because right now they cannot take towers.
You know,
Something
I actually am a little bit scared though if the lanes go badly for the radio. Like, do you
that is
prefer their
true.
lanes right now? 'Cause I think if the lanes go badly, they're just in a very bad spot with this lineup.
Yeah, it's really only Puck that can like. I mean, maybe Zeus, but even Zeus can get done pretty easy with the kind of heroes that Dire has that are just a run at you. But like Puck's the only one who can play lanes safely against these type of heroes.
At this point, well, what if Dire run Ursa 1, Viper 5 into the
Yeah,
Centaur Zeus lane? That feels extraordinarily favorable for Ursa Viper.
yeah. I mean, you really have to. I think with perfect play, I still think that lane is fine just based on how much damage the Zeus Centaur. but it seems much easier to play for Ursa Viper. But like it's it's almost impossible for Ursa Viper to like hard lose the lane. But I think Centaur or Zeus can definitely hard lose the lane. But I think if you play perfectly, it's definitely playable. I mean, yeah, Ursa's kind of annoying with fairy swipes, but I mean, Centaur and Zeus are kind of two heroes that can just man fight you. We'll see. I think TB would have been a really good pick because it gave them more safe lane shove to like mess with lanes, delay the game kind of thing, and it gave you tower push, strong with the Witch Doctor lane. TB is a really good ban, good against Ursa. Yeah, I'm not sure what hero they're gonna go for. Um, you could do something along the lines of, I mean, there's literally no illusion carries left. TB, PL, Naga, CK all banned out.
Hmm. I'm actually really thinking because I feel like the heroes that I would want to play here are not good at all. I mean,
The only hero I'm seeing is like Templar Assassin, but even that's really weird into Viper. I mean, it's probably a
yeah.
Viper support, but I don't know what else you would want.
If this is 24, I mean, this is Void.
Basis? Okay.
It can
I can
work,
see
but
that.
he's going to need an early BKB, and he is going to
Mm.
need to be very smart with his chrono usage because potentially, if you get the heroes in the wrong part of the chrono, there's a lot of good stuns from the outside, and notably there's this Tusk Snowball, so you need to have the heroes outside of Snowball range. I wouldn't be too shocked if we see like a really weird build from Tusk just to maybe like Ags plus Blink just to actually I guess it's not weird at all. Maybe like Ags Blink
Mm.
into Aether just to get heroes out of the chrono with the Snowball.
Mm. I don't think Aether increases the range you can pull allies in the snowball, does it?
I I think it does, but I have no evidence for that claim, so you might be right.
Because that doesn't seem like a cast range. I'm not sure. I think Bloosher Revamped should take, like, I mean, DK would have been a really nice pick. You need some sort of hard catch. If you were so inclined, you could do like Earth Spirit. That'd be kind of cool. But I'm not sure. Mm.
We are
I
out of
mean,
reserve time for Booster Revamp. There's 20 seconds remaining, and they're
I'm
not
gonna
even
go
going to use
Kunkka.
the full 20. They're going to go for this Wyvern pick. So we're going to see Viper
Okay.
mid, Tusk 3.
I think it's
Wait a
Tusk
minute.
mid.
Tusk mid, Viper 3,
Yeah.
Wyvern 5, Nyx 4. Okay, so I was wrong about everything, apparently. Except for the Ursa. I was right at the Ursa.
Nice.
One of the five. Well, suddenly, I actually am a little bit scared for this. I think it's one of those things where this is the hard part when you have a 23 pick because you mentioned Templar Assassin, but once again, 24 pick, plenty of room to counter a Templar Assassin. They end up going for the Void instead. Once again, plenty of room to counter the Void. There's already a counter in the Tusk. Ursa can he can enrage with Ags and Chrono, right?
Yes.
So I thought you can certainly go for the Ags later in the game just to not die on the Chrono. You have the Wyvern with either Curse or probably more realistically the Cold Embrace just to save inside the Chrono. So you have so many options to ruin this Chrono play. You have enough lockdown to an extent for the puck. You're gonna need Blink Tusk for sure, but you know Blink Tusk next maybe like Atos Viper. There's plenty of room to lock that hero down. So I think Radiant need to win their lanes if they're going to win this game.
I think lanes are super. I mean, as with every game, but I think this game in particular, I think whoever wins the lanes is going to win it. Because a lot of times when you pick this Faceless Void hero, there's always this thing in the back of both teams' minds that at a certain point, Faceless Void will just win. Like, just some drafts, there is just nothing you can do except win early to prevent the Faceless Void from winning. And so I think this is not one of those drafts, though. Because I think the counterplay of Ursa buying an Ags, and you have Wyvern Curse to disrupt, as well as you have potentially Snowball saves, I think just means, like, at certain points, when a void is farmed enough with, like, BKB and Nullifier, I mean, he will kill the enemy carry in ColonelSquid. And there's just absolutely nothing the enemy team can do about it. There's no item you can buy. and if your draft doesn't already have a built-in save, I mean, it's just there's truly nothing. But I think this game with Cold Embrace as well, it's really important that Radiant gets this Void off to an early start, where they're not in a position that they have to. Oh, I think Witch Doctor's dead.
Yeah, I mean, he's slowed already. Shards will hit barely on the edge, but mission will be accomplished. First of all, we give in to Pistia on the Tusk. Smart decision, though. I wouldn't have been that upset if it went to Jay instead, but yet on the Tusk, he's now only 200 gold, less than that even from the bottle. I have a special request from one of the viewers, by the way, from a certain Fume Dota, to yell at you for bullying him in ranked. Did you bully Fume Dota tonight? Nebula's very own Fume in ranked.
I might have ganked him 4 times in the first 10 minutes of the game.
I'm being told to yell at you. Do you accept my yelling?
I do.
Okay, then. We solved the problem. We are off to our Dota game. It is a Puck versus Tusk matchup. Sounds like a pretty boring matchup to me. Sell me on this matchup. Wait. OBS. I had the records in the screen still. Whoops. Whoops. We're good. What you were saying?
I think Puck wins this matchup pretty hard. He's tanking a lot of creep aggro, though. This is not clean from the Puck. Tusk didn't hit the Puck once, and Puck lost half HP from just tanking creeps. That's not what you like to see. It was just creeps and then ice shards. So I think if Puck is better with not just tanking random damage to creeps, like both of them have also not missed a CS yet, but I think Puck should definitely crush this matchup. Maybe not crush, but like do fine.
I mean, Puck needs to spot his bottle and get some regen out ASAP. He's taking a lot of damage, both from the spells of Tusk and, as you mentioned, the creep aggro.
Yeah. And I mean, it really helps Tusk that he gets this early bottle. Like, there are some mid matchups where it's kind of whatever. This one, I mean, it's so nice as Tusk can just have a kill bottom.
I had it on screen, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I'm awake tonight. I had caffeine. I'm ready to go.
That is Viper Nyx. Actually, a very deadly lane. Like, I think this might be one of the strongest off lanes. I mean, it's up there, certainly, with... I don't know, is there a better 4 that you could pair with Viper? Maybe something like Earth Spirit, Clockwork? But, like, Nyx is kind of the ideal 4 you want with Viper. It's a big damage sponge that can be sort of the one to let you get off a bunch of poison attacks.
We saw it there with the Witch Doctor death. You just saw this Viper slowly run at Witch Doctor, and eventually he was so slow that he couldn't dodge the impale anymore, and he just died.
Top. This is really bad for the Dire. Like, it's usually the Ursa would be able to pressure... Oh, that's interesting. Usually the Ursa would be able to pressure the Sentinel a lot more, but the creep wave is just so far up that now when Wyvern leaves to go pull, both heroes are just going to be able to click super hard.
This happens sometimes with the lanes. I mean, obviously, lab level game, sometimes Equilibrium gets a little bit messed up, but again, it's Witch Doctor going down bottom, and Void cannot find any degree of vengeance. Back to top lane again. We're seeing a lot of damage as well, so it just seems like Bloosher Revamped are winning the lanes pretty well right now. I mean, all 3 cores are ahead in CS. It's already a 1k net worth lead. It's already 3 kills to 0, so if you are a Bloosher Revamped fan, you're probably at least moderately happy right now.
So, bottom lane, I think a very common mistake against heroes like Viper is happening on the Radiant perspective, because if you just think about how these 2 heroes work, Nyx and Viper, the one who is going to be doing all of the damage, like literally 95% of the damage, is the Viper. Nyx is basically there as just an extra HP pool for the Viper to help him tank damage. And so both times that the Witch Doctor has died, they have been going onto the Nyx Assassin, which is like exactly what the Dire wants you to do. Because if you're going on the Nyx, Viper is not threatened at all and can just completely poison attack both heroes at the same time if he wants, honestly. But he can just like focus the Witch Doctor with his poison attack and is not threatened. But if you're going on the Viper, he either has to turn away from you and run away to not just like die to the Maledict damage, or he has to do damage. And so he can't both run away from you and threaten you with damage. But I think this is the first time Jay has gotten Maledict casted on them, and it is when both of the heroes were already 10% HP.
I mean, again, Jay is fine. Haptic on the Witch Doctor, not fine. That is his fourth death of the game, actually. I guess look at the kill score. That is all of the deaths is on the Witch Doctor, which, I mean, I've been there. You've seen it happen. You've been in those games. Sometimes your back support, whether it's your Badger Dota or your Bulljax Dota, just feeds, and you just you have a rough time.
And that was earn charges for the Viper. This difficult lane just got like 10 times harder. I mean, this is when you queue up Midas's Void. Yep, yep, he's already got it in quick buy.
Great sign though, because I mean, it's not. I mean, it is my middle lane. Pistia hits 6 first.
Geez.
Solo kills Tano. That is not what you need if you're Puck, and it's not what you need if you're this Radiant team. Over again, the bottom lane is Witch Doctor again. It's being clicked down by Viper. That's 6 kills for Team Bloosher Revamped, and they're up now to a 2K lead at minute 5. And well, we were talking in the pregame about how it could be an uncompetitive game, and so far it's certainly been quite one-sided.
6-0, yeah, I'll say it's definitely been very one-sided. I think 0 people on the Radiant team are enjoying this game. Pistia is literally 1v2ing mid lane and is completely fine. Soundproof is dead.
He's died to the damage over time. Oh no. I think it was the Urn as well. That's... I guess at least Jay wasn't in range for more Urn charges, but... That's your one silver lining to your death on your hard carry. And...
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even see that. Wait, middle... I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of kills right now because people are just dying right now. They're just dying unexpectedly. I'm not expecting them to die, and they're just dying.
This is like...
Pistia's diving 1v3 mid lane. This could be the turnaround they need. Team by Centaur. Coil snapped. Big kill for Tano. And now they're only down by 2k again.
I definitely needed to just pick someone to kill. Like, at a certain point, it doesn't even matter who you kill. I mean, it's nice that it was the enemy mid laner, but like, you just kind of gotta get a kill.
Is that when you say we're going to kill the Wyvern for morale damage?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen those games where you just kill the 5 and then GG out?
The classic. Over to bottom lane, we see Maledict actually missed by Haptic. Soundproof will time walk to dodge the Impale stun, but it will not matter. He's clicked down again by Jay. Tano TP's him, but so does Pistia. Snowball stuns on 1. Witch Doctor dead. The Puck got away, but it's 2 more kills, and we actually see Puck inside the shards. Will Orb will look to jump, but it's towards by Onions. Impale, Punk take canceled. Impale hits. 3 are running at the Puck. Puck will get punched and brought down again. The phase shift will delay, but it will not stop the... Wait. Shards missed this time. The Urn will tick down soon. One more tick. Oh, no. If you have 3 more HP, what can you do?
No. Poor guy.
11 kills, 4k lead a minute. Not even minute 8. It's over 500 net worth lead per minute. And this might be the most one-sided game we've casted all season.
Yes, it is. It is the number 1 team against the number -1 team. Yeah.
16 out of 16, baby. See, technically there was a disband, so 16 out of 17, they're not entirely down there, but if we're being realistic...
Never feels good when you're only ahead of a team that literally disbanded.
Well, middle lane, Tano has returned. We're seeing he phase shifted very preemptively there. He's a little bit scared of being gone on. And, well, I guess he is right. There are a lot of dire heroes posted up. The Observer Ward here has spotted the rotations, but they're still going to go anyways, I think.
This is one of those games where you're kind of just thinking, like, why should we not GG out? At least that is the Bulljax mentality. I'm sure, well, I don't know if you know, but Bulljax is quite the, he's ready to just go next. That's definitely his mentality in game 1 of series when it is an absolute disaster with no silver lining. And
the disaster has continued in the Radiant jungle. Witch Doctor has been gone upon. They moved to tuck the shards were missed, but Jay is still hunting. Zeus and Puck on the run. Jay and Pistia ping the targets. Both are slow, but placing the attack soundproof has a Chronosphere. He can use it. He will not. Pump Tick and cancel it. Now it's there on only the Tusk. But Soundproof might just die in his own Chrono. He's Viper Strike right now. Stampede. Look at Radiant Whip. Soundproof is dead. Tusk is the trade. At least it's the second kill, but now Dire are still looking to fight in this 2v4, and they actually might win the 2v4. The problem with Boldax being a two-time champion is, if he wasn't a champion, I'd call it loser's mentality, but he actually won Lads twice, so I can't say that anymore. That's the problem.
yeah, it's...
Oh, Jay, he's gone on by 3 heroes, but they're all dying! Witch Doctor is going to most certainly die. Zeus and Puck barely get away, but I want to turn your attention to the hero net worth. 5.3k on Viper. Highest rated hero, only 3.8k.
Yeah, it's a rough one. This first big Viper is working out quite handedly. I think what can you do? I'm sure if Bulljax is this 0-8 Witch Doctor at 10 minutes, he is not having a good time. As I'm sure Haptic is also not having a good time, and
neither is WeLostThis, who's just dove under his T1 tower. He doesn't even have like a Vanguard or a Hood. He has a Ring of Health at minute 10. This is... I mean, I guess he's shielding for the blink instead to try to force a fight, but... Ugh, this is sad. Task in by Haptic. He's snowballed by Pistia. Punch is available, though the silence will prevent that from occurring. Dire will again turn their attention to the very soft mid-1 tower, and is going to be a very dead mid-T1, though Radiant will coil and Stampede to attempt the fight. Stomp available, used on Jay, but the attention is split. Haptic is dead, Zeus is dead, WeLostThis will go down, and where the hell did Ice 80 die?
he died to a creep because he got Zeus ulted.
I see. So it's a 3-for-1 trade. Problem is the one didn't go to the Radiant, it went to the neutral, so Dire team 3 kills, Radiant team 0 kills, neutral creeps 1 kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You know, the big loser of that fight, definitely Ice Yeti. Look at he lost 116 net worth. And the opportunity cost of being dead is like 400 gold a farm. He's the big loser of this fights.
Simply unlucky. I mean, this is one of those games that just feels absolutely unwinnable. Usually as Puck, I feel like if the game starts going bad, once I have, like, at least Witchblade plus, like, half an item, I'm like, alright, I think I can delay the game long enough that we can come back into it, but when you're losing the game before you even have half your Witchblade, it's rough. It's really rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kill after kill, and I'm not even casting the kills. They're just happening. You're seeing heroes slowly walk up, use a few abilities, and just get kills. And there's not much counterplay quite yet. Maybe Radiant are waiting for, at this point, the blink on Centaur for some kind of fight. And if you lose the fight, GG out, because I mean, at this point you're down enough that you can't just sit back and do nothing. You have to force some kind of dumb play. And there's 2 outcomes to your dumb play: either it works and you win the game, or it doesn't work and you go next. And this current gameplay where you get run at one at a time and you die is not succeeding. Soundproof, again, is going to die. And Jay, I think this kills time with the damage here. He'll phase shift, but it does not matter. And Jay might get a 3rd kill. He's killing Haptic. 3 kills for Jay. Snowball through on top of a corpse. WeLostThis. Dr. Epic. They're on the run. Pistia is hunting. Has Punch available. And Zeus, they see the Zeus. Tag team punch. Jay hits. Pistia denies Jay an opportunity of the rampage, but it's still a 4-for-0, and it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, this is... It looks like these two teams are just on a completely different... Simply. I think you just... Both side lanes just seem so much easier for Dire to play. I mean, there's nothing easier to execute than spinning on them and stacking up Fury Swipes. And then the only skillful matchup mid, you lose.
I mean, it's
Just,
just bad. It's I mean, it's more unfortunate, but
Yeah.
at this point, buying onions might feed one back. Problem is, he has Pistia on the rendezvous, snowballing and breaking down the Witch Doctor, and never mind. There's not one going back. It's just one more going to Dire. It's 26-2. You want to know what the dream is? At this point, I was going to say Dire needs 5 more. That's going to say Dire needs 6 more kills. Now Dire needs 5 more kills. We are almost at the dream. We are at the 32-2 dream.
Yes.
We're getting there. We almost got there at this point.
Jay hits Dr. Epic twice, and Dr. Epic loses half his HP. That means Jay 4 shots the Dr. Epic with how Poison Attack stacks up. That's actually crazy. And Dr. Epic has trapped himself.
You know what? I think he's happy being there rather than being where a Centaur is.
And he
run
TP'd out
by Jay. Wait a minute, it's a 3v1 looking for Jay, but Jay is just killing them with the corrosive passive. Oh no, curse onto Centaur, dead. Jay might go down. They need this kill on Jay. Chrono committed. Jay remains alive. They still can't kill the Viper. Oh no. Oh, this 30 kills. Coil even missed. Oh dear God! Please kill this Viper. No, they couldn't.
Oh,
They got him. They got something.
They did not get 32-2. They got another kill. It was close. They almost had him, but Radiant were able to get that 3rd kill to prevent the 32-2.
They needed that kill for morale more than they need. There we go.
And there's the GG.
They really needed that kill. That's a kill where I think you're just happy getting that kill. Say, at least we got the Viper, this hero who ruined our game. He's not 16-0, he's 16-1. He can't brag to his friends, look at me, 16-0. That's me. That's Ice Yeti 0-1-0. Dear God. I mean, this is about what we expected from about minute 5 onwards. So unfortunate it was, I mean, the silver lining, it was merciful. It ended fast.
It was like a band-aid. You just clean off WeLostThis, bros. Kind of like, you know, to finish out the season, you got to play all the teams. And that sometimes means playing the number 1 team based on standings. And if you're very far down, sometimes you kind of just don't want to play the series. And this one might be over very quickly. I think if Game 2 goes anywhere close to that, we might have a single-digit minute GG.
You know, I'll take the over. I will say we're not getting a single-digit GG tonight. They're going to last at least 10 minutes. I'll take that bet.
All right, here, I'll give you a new bet. The over-under is 14 minutes.
Ooh. I think I would lean over, but I'm not as confident with 14 as I am with 10. 10, I'm like, yeah, it's not going 9 minutes. I think I've only ever seen like 2 games in my life where it's been less than 10 minutes. I was on one of them, by the way, but what can you do?
What can you do, man?
I mean, to be fair, I was playing a very good team. IX, Mike, Fluff and stuff, TC, Ush, and I was bad for fucking Dota, so we lost in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think when the game is going how it's going, I mean, you kind of see the end going. It's really hard to not call it when the game is in such a dire state. All 3 lanes lose. All 3 towers are gone pre-10 minutes, all tier 1s. It's just, or maybe I think the tier 1 lasted until 11 minutes.
It was quite the dire state of game, but if you're the dire, you're happy with the game looking dire. It's looking pretty radiant for you.
So, WeLostThis won the flip game 1?
Yeah, they chose first pick.
Interesting.
I wrote it down in my handy-dandy notepad file. G1 flip winner, WeLostThis chose first, Bloosher chose dire.
Interesting.
which is the opposite of what you'd expect. One team chooses first pick, the other one picks Dire, which just seems kind of backwards. But what can you do?
I personally am a Dire enjoyer nowadays, but
You are a
just based
heretic, and
on
you will die a heretic's death.
who won last game, huh? Radiant or Dire?
Listen, if you put Bloosher Revamped in the Radiant, they win that game, but even harder.
Is that true though?
And they would have had even more morale damage. They would have been the good guys.
I think the game would have lasted longer if Dire were the we lost this with equal drafts. Because when you're the good guy and you're losing like that, you sort of realize, wait, I'm not the main character. I'm not the one that beats this team. And I think that sort of realization was what led them to call GG at 16 minutes. But I think if you're the Dire, you understand that you're the villain and it's your job to fight the good fight and let the heroes have their victory. And so I think you go at least 20 minutes. So Dire wins that harder. Because on Dire, you can teach the Radiant players that they're.
My response is you are a Dire propagandist, and you will die a heretic's death.
Span Viper. Guess they didn't enjoy that from Jay. They didn't.
No, they did not. I really should grab more water just in case game 2 goes the distance, so I'll be right back.
I could see it. Maybe. I think they definitely need to pick stronger lanes. I think it's okay to draft the way that they drafted last game if you're okay in your team play and like playing off of being at a slightly disadvantageous position in lanes and then not absolutely shitting the bed in them, but also like being able to find the strengths in your draft and use them to turn the tide, which I think is a lot more powerful, but it is a lot harder to do. And this is some alpha mentality. First pick CM, essentially trying to deny the Beastmaster pick, and then picking Beastmaster anyway. That is such alpha number one team mentality that we literally are not even looking at your draft. We're just picking the heroes we want to pick. And we'll see if it works out. I think that if you're picking this Beastmaster to be a pause 3 and going against a CM5, it's going to be much worse. But we will we'll see. I think. Oh, I thought that was Chen. Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker Beastmaster, two super powerful heroes picked. I remember there was one time on Nebula we 5 picked Rubik for Acid Rain, and then the enemy team 6 picked Enigma. And that was probably one of the most alpha things I've ever seen. And we ended up losing that game. It was that, like, at a certain point you just are astounded and lose focus at the alphaness of it. And we see a Bristleback pick. So if Bristleback pick is their pause 1 safe lane, 10 times stronger than Witch Doctor Faceless Void. Faceless Void is the epitome of a mid laner. Offers, like, is kind of the fucking benchmark for power levels. If a hero is a weak laner, it's weaker than a Faceless Void. If it is a stronger laner, it's stronger than a Faceless Void. Faceless Void is the most, like, just meh laner. And when you're up against a Viper, who's one of the most powerful laners in the game, and you don't play knowing that, and you don't, like, build your lane around going on him, because I think if that lane goes so different if they just, like, click their spells on the Viper. And what's the Nyx gonna do? Like, if you're a Nyx there and your Viper gets pressed spells on him, you kind of just, like, you stun them, great, and then what happens when they keep chasing your Viper? You kind of got to be like, hey guys, look at me. But I think the problem with what they did is they waited so long to finally click their spells on the Viper,
5 seconds remaining.
that the Void, when they went on the Viper, was 30% HP. That's like not enough HP. You need to be full resources so that the Viper actually has to run away. If the Viper knows that he can kill you before you kill him, then he can just stand his ground and he'll kill you both. He might die to Maledict, but he's fine taking the trade.
You want to know what I appreciate about you, Mr. ColonelSquid?
Let's hear it.
I was like, hey, Logical, you want to cast? He's like, oh, I can't cast. It's 7 in the morning. I'm in India. These teams are bad. And you were like, yeah, I'll be there, you know? You weren't afraid of casting tonight.
Man, I didn't even look at the teams, you know? We just, we do what we gotta do.
I told you one of the teams.
Yeah, you did.
To be fair, I also
yeah.
didn't know who they were playing, so...
Yeah.
I just saw available cast 9:30. I'm like, I like casting Dota. Let's do it.
Oh. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is like such an alpha mentality from the Dire to see if first pick CM and then pick the Beastmaster into it. Which, like, I think CM is probably one of the hardest Beastmaster counters in lane just because you frostbite the boar, it's dead.
5 seconds remaining.
But at a certain
maybe
point,
I just really wanted the Beastmaster. I mean, it was banned out game 1. It was available, so I was like, you know what? You're not going to ban our Beastmaster? We're going to lock it in anyways.
I mean, it's a really strong hero. Like, I don't blame them at all for picking it. It's probably the best offlaner of the patch.
Radiant team pick.
And they did pick a much stronger lane. I think Radiant needed to pick stronger lanes, and they opened really well. CM Bristle, super strong lane, assuming that's their 1 in 5. Not crazy about this Night Stalker. I understand that, like,
10 seconds
in terms of the game, you have to pick a more game-oriented hero, and Night Stalker is,
seconds remaining.
if you really understand the game state, Night Stalker helps your pacing a lot, if that makes sense. You're able to have very clear instructions on when to fight and when not to fight. You just look at the clock at the top of your screen, and if it is yellow, you do not fight. If it is black, or if your Night Stalker's ulti is up, you do fight. And it gives a very clear map to when to take fights. So I do like that, and it is also super good to have the vision advantage against the Beastmaster. So I would like them to pick another strong laner to help the Night Stalker lane, and I think Wyvern is one of those heroes. Wyvern can be a super strong laner. I am worried, though, that they are just going to pick, like, Ursa again, and Night Stalker is going to be really, really sad.
Remaining.
You know, they opened up some strong laning heroes, but now it's Night Stalker Wyvern, and that means it's a Wyvern 4? Is it a Wyvern mid? Is it a CM4? How exactly are we going to put these heroes together now?
I think you want to lane the CM against the Beastmaster wherever he is, and then I think your other heroes kind of just fall into line. You could definitely put this Bristle mid. That is a super, like, definitely see that happening. It does feel worse putting the Bristle back pause 1 when there's a Hoodwink. There's always going to be that break.
We saw it earlier today in
there it is.
Nouns versus TSM. We saw the Gunner mid Bristleback, so perhaps we'll see something very similar where that's another very brawly carry hero for the WeLostThis bro. I mean, I would say CK or Ursa, but CK banned, Ursa picked, but it's always Bloodseeker. There's always some other hero in that sort of mold you can go for if you put the Bristleback mid there.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jug is unbanned still.
This is true. Jug actually ignored the series. But yeah, this Ursa pick looks really nice. It's kind of a free Ursa game. I don't see what threatens you. Maybe if you, I think you're gonna like crush Night Stalker in lane. Night Stalker is a super weak offlaner, and we might see Ice Yeti on his Ursa do what Jay did on his last game. Just kill the enemy like 5 times in lane. With Dawn Ursa, I mean, your level 2 timing, especially your level 3 timing, is absolutely out of this world.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm trying to couple like a devil's advocate type of argument to say, there's some kind of counterplay, but I mean, I guess nighttime's the counterplay where suddenly your Night Stalker just moves faster, and hopefully just doesn't die the Ursa anymore. But there's definitely gonna be a window where like Ursa hits that free timing and Night Stalker's not nighttime yet, and then you just have problems.
Yeah, I think something I would like to see the Radiant pick is just somebody to make moves. Like, I think you want to put this Bristleback pause 1 just because you need to pick a playmaker. Like, let's say you're 5-man smoking as the Radiant right now, and you see under reward, or because it's nighttime, you see Ursa farming his Ancient Camp. How are you going to start on him with these 3 heroes? Like, or with these 4 heroes? What is your play? Like, is it buy a Blink Dagger on Night Stalker and have him just blink on him and silence him? Like, blink silence, that's your thing? Which is, like, kind of cool, but when Ursa buys a BKB, what is your, like, how do you ever start on him? How do you ever prevent him from getting spells off? Or, I mean, the alternative way to play is to just be like, we don't care if he gets spells off. We're going to win the fight eventually. And I don't know if that's true for them. So I would like them to pick some sort of threat to, like, something along the lines of, I mean, it's probably not this, but, like, just a DK. Like, just, hey, our play is we're going to blink stun him on DK.
It's never
Or-
going to happen, but like I would love a safe lane Magnus for Radiant right now.
That'd be cool. That'd be pretty Chad.
Like, it's never like, if there was like Yuma on this Radiant team, I'd be like, yeah, lock in safe lane Magnus owns this game, pairs well with these cores, RP's a super threatening spell into these Dawnbreaker Ursa Beastmaster heroes. They group together a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It pairs well with Curse as well with this Inner Beast passive, but it's not going to happen. So it's going to be a relatively meta standard carry or an illusion carry, and it's not going to be Magnus.
Will we see them bring out the Faceless Void again? That'd be pretty
I hope
interesting.
not. This is a worse Void game than last game.
Also love Magnus because I mean you just RP someone, they're gonna get Dawnbreaker ulted by Ags.
I guess you are right. I was thinking about getting the Dawnbreaker in the RP, but that's kind of a hard ask because Dawnbreaker could just not be in the RP.
Yeah, if you're Dawnbreaker, you're playing against a Magnus where the only way that the enemy team starts to fight is blink RP, you just split push the entire game and never be at the start of a fight.
I guess you could
But-
RP and then when they Solar Guardian, you Winter's Curse on top, and then hopefully that's like 3 heroes. But
Coddle.
we're going to see the exact opposite kind of
Okay,
thing. It'll be
okay,
Coddle
okay.
instead. It's going to be Coddle mid, I'm assuming, with Bristleback carry.
Yeah. I actually like that a lot. I think that eventually you can buy, like, Coddle is a kind of hero that can kind of just be an item, like, he can just be a merchant. He can kind of just have whatever he wants. He pretty much has access to any item in Dota 2 that he can buy. Aside from, like, MKB Daedalus, like, Coddle can literally go any item in the game. And so eventually you can go this, like, just hex. Like, you just build a hex, and that's your way to start on Ursa. Or in the early game, you build Orchid Vessel, and that's how you start on the Ursa. You also have really nice wave clear against the push of Beastmaster. Yeah, I like this pick a lot. I think this pick solved a lot of what their draft lacked. Assuming he does understand their team has almost no lockdown, and he needs to provide that with his hero. And they go for the Budge.
Select your heroes.
Alright then, so we're going to see the middle lane Pudge. Dawnbreaker goes to the 5 support this game. It'll be a Hoodwink 4, Beastmaster 3, Ursa carry mid, Pudge. I don't know if I like the Pudge that much, but I'm sure it'll work.
Yeah, it's actually not that good against Coddle mid. It's nice early because if you threaten to like hook the Coddle, he really can never blast waves because he's just AFK standing still, right? But eventually, Pudge is good against lots of little damage instances, and Illuminate is the exact opposite of that. So is Bristleback Carry. Bristleback Carry attacks slow, but for a shit ton. And it looks like, I mean, hopefully, Coddle, this would be my ideal Coddle build this game. I would like if Coddle were to go, like, maybe an Null Talisman to start, you know, something like that. But, like, big items, he goes Bots, Spirit Vessel, Orchid, maybe something like a Force/Ghost Scepter, just to protect himself, and then Hex. Maybe a blink dagger, but like basically not including like defensive items, just Vessel, Orchid, Hex was I think maybe Kneeblade, but I think Vessel Orchid Hex is like his build this game.
I was on board until next. I actually really like the E-Blade idea. I think the E-Blade this game, both offensively and defensively, would be very powerful if it gets to that stage of the game, and hopefully it does for our sake. But if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of Team Bloosher Revamped, taking on WeLostThis. If you missed game 1, you missed very little of value. Team Bloosher Revamped ran the train, took WeLostThis to Pound Town in 16 minutes time, and hopefully game 2 will end up proving to go more of a distance in 16 minutes. My name is Badger, I'm joined by Season 8 Lads champion ColonelSquid, and hopefully we're in for a good time.
Hopefully we are. I think this game will definitely go much longer. Assuming they don't GG out. I mean, they just have very much better ways to play the game. With Coddle Blast, Wyvern, W, CM Blast, you know, much easier. I don't know. E-Blade to me is like, it's a super good E-Blade game, don't get me wrong, but is it really what his team needs? Like when the cards are down, they actually don't have a single stun.
Do you need stuns?
Yes. Yes, you do, Mr. Abaddon player. You do indeed need stuns. And I know that maybe you don't believe in them, but the rest of us sane humans understand that you need stuns.
If you were looking at the side of your screen on the left, you see that Dire got all 4 bounty runes. They scared off the Radiant nice and early this time around. Obviously, last game there was First Blood, so Radiant this time around were a little more cautious. And it cost them 4 runes. You mentioned this Coddle versus Pudge matchup. Usually you see a lot of mid-Pudges go for like a 0-3-2 sort of skill build, but you mentioned how, Coddle sits there, channels Illuminates. So unsurprisingly, Pistia has skilled hook on Pudge. Level 1 even. Hooks up! Ooh, good dodge by Tana.
That's one of those where if the Coddle is kind of sleeping at the wheel, that's an easy like 200, 300 damage. So, good to see Tano not sleeping at the wheel just yet, but in First Blood.
And it's bottom instead, where Soundproof just ran all the way under tower, tried to kill Jay, and says, wait a minute, you know it's easier to kill than a Beastmaster? A Hoodwink. I'll kill Hoodwink instead. First Blood.
Yes, indeed.
That's with the level 1 Quill Spray, too. Usually, you don't see Bristle make these plays in the level 2 Quill Spray, but Soundproof did not care. He wanted to be as aggressive as early as possible, and let's see, a lot of damage. Good trade there for the Radiant team.
Yep. It did cost him like a lot of mana, though. He used all of his mana pool, and then both mangoes that he started with.
Good news. Want to know who support is? Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden.
Wait, it's only 0.5 per second?
Lady.
That's it?
At level 1, yeah.
I could have swore you see more than that.
It definitely did. Love it's been so gutted.
I remember back in the day, used to see the Chinese pros go for the Brilliance or level 1 on Crystal Maiden because it gave that much regen, but apparently it's just 0.5 now.
Yeah, it's gotten fucking duped into the ground.
That's why it's no longer called Brilliance Aura, it's now called Arcane Aura. It's no longer as powerful anymore.
It is much worse. And that's always good. When you lose in 16 minutes in game 1, and then getting the First Blood in game 2 on your most important hero is like such a morale boost. You really need it.
One thing that's concerning me though is this middle lane. Pudge has at least 2 range creep denies right now, which that can't be a good thing. It just literally can't be.
Sometimes your hero just has
again good dodge by Tana.
Yeah.
You're saying
definitely on his toes. Well, sometimes the enemy mid laner just has 85 base damage, and you're like, oh well, okay. I didn't want those creeps anyway. Sometimes you're a Coddle with 50 base damage, and you buy a null tally, so that you're like, oh man, no, I'll have 55. And the enemy mid is still 25 damage up on you. And you're like, well, what can you do?
You know what you can do. There's this tool you have on Keeper of the Light called Illuminates that
Where
does
you can farm
290
this one,
damage,
yeah.
and that is more than 80 damage. You could use that to get the range creeps. Bottom lane, both cores very low, soundproof, full salves, cancel, and Buy Onions finds the kill and moving over to top lane. Nighttalker is being run at, but the kill instead would be on Ice Yeti perhaps. One more hit will do it. Down goes Ice Yeti, and Haptic is on the run. Agile wants vengeance, but it's bottom lane again. One more kill behind back to the top lane. The Starbreaker brings down Haptic, but it may be another trade kill. I lost this wants vengeance, will not find it. He's actually faster than the Dawnbreaker, but cannot find the kill. Absolute chaos across the map. A 2-for-2 trade. Wait, no, 3-for-1 trade.
3-for-1, but yes.
Either are 4 kills, but might be.
Close enough.
Suddenly that's bad.
I think Tana, this is one of those games where Tana can win. It's a very, very free COD game. You don't see a lot of those. But they have, like... Their heroes have no innate gap close. Like, their only innate gap close is Hook. So, as long as you don't die to Blink Ursa, and you sort of are able to weather that storm of item timing, your game is very free before and after that timing. So
I wouldn't be too shocked if Dire buy a lot of Blink that this game, though, like Blink on Dawnbreaker, maybe even a Blink on Beastmaster and Pudge, where suddenly you solve the gap close problem with just buying a bunch of Blink daggers, and that hopefully should solve your problem there.
Soundproof is getting a little taste of his own medicine. Usually it's other heroes that get stacks of his abilities, but now he is getting up to 4 stacks of Jay's axes.
Yeah, Jay's having a pretty good time in the bottom lane, damaging Bristleback. The CS is still in Bristle's favor. We're seeing a lot of support trades, both top and bottom. Top went in Wyvern's disfavor, and so the same thing bottom with Crystal Maiden going down, so both supporters on the Radiant side fall. Which is never ideal, but sometimes you just die. Top lane, we may see vengeance, though, for the Wyvern. He's returned to the top lane, and him and his Nightsucker are running at Ice Yeti. Ice Yeti is incredibly low, and with the extra move speed on the Nightstalker, he will kill the Ursa Bear. As all of that happens, where did Pudge go? He's going for topper, never mind.
Yep. He's chilling. Getting him haste. That could actually let him kill Coddle pretty easily. Coddle's got to watch out for that one. With his level 4 rot timing. A lot of damage. 120 DPS.
Fishtail wants it. I know he wants it, but maybe he'll fish for a hook at some point. And at that point, the kill is almost guaranteed. Correction, it's just guaranteed, pretty much.
You notice how
see
to
the
really...
Wyvern approaching in this jungle area. Again, the Starbreaker stun. Not the longest stun in the world, but with the Ice Yeti being nearby. And as all that happens, Fishtail activates the haste rune walking into the Radiant side jungle, so both Radiant supports die. One in the Dire jungle, one in the Radiant jungle. Fishtail thought he might get Tano mid lane, but instead, Tano jukes it away and runs away from the hasted Pudge.
Tano, who is almost hasted himself with his ulti going. Nice hero, Valve. Very nice hero.
Ordinarily, I would agree, but Pudge's got a solid 101 move speed on Coddle. That's a pretty big gap right there.
That's true. He doesn't have his bots quite yet. They're currently flying out on the crow. Okay.
He's had a lot of very close calls with the hook. I mean, say half of these hooks he's barely missed. He hits, suddenly it's like 12 kills for the Dire right now.
You know he's had a really quiet series?
Who would that be?
Mr. Ice Yeti. He has had a very, very quiet series. Game 1, literally 0 action happened within a fucking 30-foot radius of him.
Yeah, you were mocking his 0-1 and 0 scoreline.
He was avoiding action the same way he avoids school zones. I mean, it is... Nothing was happening. So, he finally gets his first kill of the series there. Barely, too. So
he's on
the
board. He's on the board.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, he's going Battle Fury. What a snoozer item.
Talking to snoozers, we see Crystal Maiden swept bottom lane by the roar of Jay, brought down into the grave, but in the dire jungle, stuff's never mind. Thought it might happen, but Night Stalkers, I think, saw the Pudge on that long-range night vision and began to run away. Agile will miss the stun, even though it's... Actually, correction, it would have missed, ends up being cancelled by the Night Stalker, same result. As all of that happened, the top T1 went down not too long ago, so there's some room to head into this dire side jungle.
Mid lane Pish is looking. Oh no.
Yeah, Coddle does not see the hook. He's in the fog, into Dismember, into Agile's hammer, into a death on Keeper of the Light. Radiant, bring in the boys. They want vengeance. Pudge activates the hood. Rot online. Both cores are very low. Night Stalker is going to... Never mind, both will die. The hook, with his dying breath, brings down Night Stalker. So it is a 2-for-1. Pudge gets 2 kills, then dies to happening on the Wyvern.
Super worth it for the Pudge.
And this is good. It's only a 1k deficit, and they got 5 kills. It's more than they last game. This is good.
This is true. Bristol's courier died, which is very, very sad.
What was that the Vit booster on the courier?
I believe so.
Ooh, that's a bad one. There's times
Yeah,
your courier dies, not that big of a deal, but Vit booster on a Bristleback Vanguard is a big deal.
Yeah, the difference between, like, even just, like, the straight-up difference between having... If you were to have just the Vit booster, but it not be assembled,
We're
really
seeing it
wouldn't
right now.
matter,
If he had that Fist booster, he'd be alive right now. He could have popped the magic wand and survived. The courier dying directly resulted in Soundproof perishing, and because of that, Dr. Epic 2 will be demolished by the Axes and the Rot. Another double kill for Bishia on the Pudge, and, well... It's better than last game, but it's still looking quite good right now for Team Bloosher Revamped.
It is. Looking quite good for them.
Are fortified.
They need to figure out how to activate their Night Stalker. It's like, it's unclear where this Night Stalker is supposed to play.
Radiant's bottom tower is
They, because I think the Bristle wants to be playing up top.
under attack.
But your Night Stalker can't go, like, man up against the Beastmaster. No shot he's able to play against him.
At this point, the tower's already dead too, so if you play there on Night Stalker, that's a lot of space to be running around in. Just, I mean, I guess you can pop Ascension and not die, but using the ability to not die is never ideal.
Yeah. You, Coddle TP's bottom, but, I mean, Pudge is just poking, forcing rotations. But yeah, Pudge is rushing Blink Dagger. And I don't think Coddle's going to be ready quick enough.
He has an Urn and a Travels. Maybe he'll have Deathsel, but Deathsel will not save you from the Blink Pudge directly. I guess it gives him more HP indirectly, but as that happens, Pudge will accelerate its Blink timing, hook in on long range onto the Wyvern. Haptic is going to certainly die. Actually, correction, he's already dead. 13th kill for the side of the Dire, and Pudge has been involved in 7 of those kills.
See that secure from Jay?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta distribute your gold around evenly. You know, Jay wants some more money.
So you just are like, oh yeah, I was securing it, guys, and your Pudge is like, dude, I need my blink, and he's like, oh, sorry, I couldn't hear that. What was that? And
You couldn't hear it over the sound of my Helm the Dominator, Solar Crest. Wait, he's not.
Beastmaster's actually not even going Helm down. He's just going straight blink himself.
How will the Iron Will Solar Crest? I mean, I mentioned how Beastmaster could go for a blink. Didn't know it'd be this early, but you know what? Why not get the extra blink timing? Throw in multiple blinks. Get that Beastmaster blink, Pudge blink, and then later the Ursa blink at some point after like Beef Fury maybe, and then we just we run around with all 3 cores going around the Solar Guardian even, and you win the fights that way, as I mentioned earlier on. And maybe that is going to be the strat. For now, though, Radiant are going to sit as 4 middle lane. They could have the rise upon that middle T1 tower, which is a bit injured, but it is still easier said than done killing the tower.
Radiant need to go, like, they need to finish this Vessel and Coddle and then just make an aggressive play to get a kill.
Well, instead, it's Dire making the aggressive play. Roar and Solar Guardian bottom lane brings down the Bristleback, so if Radiant wants to make one, that will be delayed.
Now that Dawn that ult is down and you've got your Vessel coming on courier, like this is the prime time to just make a move, get a kill. It doesn't even matter who the kill is on. A, you want to get Vessel charges, and B, you just need to get like something going for your team. Like you need to get some aggressive play moving. And I like this. I don't know if Pudge is the correct target, but
I mean, the hook was blocked by his own illusion, but the problem is Pudge is just too strong. He kills Crystal Maiden, he kills Wyvern, Night Stalker, Willow Send, but Pudge's still quite tanky. Looking for a softer target, being that Agile Dawn and Breaker Agile. Will certainly die here eventually to the damage from Soundproof, but it's still a good trade so far for the Dire. And Pistia, if he dies, will be a big death, but Dire will fight around him. Sharpshooter will break the Bristleback. Ideal targets to break. Pistia, though, is dropping rapidly. He will dismember, but he cannot heal enough. Big kill again for Soundproof. That's a lot of money for your Bristleback. Speaking of Bristleback, he's slowing Jay. Jay runs the Tri-Camp. Ice Yeti will Earthshock in, looking for Pano, but he's frostbitten by Dr. Epic. Ice Yeti's on the run. Freezing Shield will slow. Ice Yeti will enrage, but Soundproof will finish the kill on Jay. Ice Yeti will get a double damage room, but he might just die anyways. Jay is dead. Ice Yeti is incredibly low. And at long last, WeLostThis have won a team fight this series, and it might even be another kill on Agile. He's respawned into the fight, but again, he's dead to the Illuminate damage. WeLostThis. They have signs of life.
that's exactly what they needed. They had all their abilities up, they had their muscle time, and they played around it. That is what we like to see. You see, they got that one opening kill on Dawn, and then for the entire fight, Tino had Screw Vessel Turners. Pudge, and the Beastmaster, and everybody, they just melted.
Dire's top tower is under
Pistia.
Well, Pudge's back in the action, but he's fighting into 5 Radiant side heroes. Bristle will get broken, but Pudge is silenced in return. Roar in on Soundproof in the Solar Guardian. Stun on 2, but a curse is there on 3. It's 1 dead so far. Pudge is low, but not quite dead. Soundproof has been gone upon. He will go down in that spot. Hook in, splits the wickets, but it's still Wyvern on the run. Dire see the Wyvern, but instead run at Crystal Maiden. Axes are in. Illuminate, the return. Jay still wants to go in, but there is a tier 1 tower in the way. Problem is Pistia and Ice City will wrap around gank for the Wyvern. Pistia has Hook online. He will again, this time, hit the Coddle. Coddle gets embraced, but you have to embrace the grave quite soon. Unless he runs away, actually. They couldn't finish the kill. Dr. Epic down. Haptic down. Dire will lose their Pudge. Night Stalker has been bushwhacked. He might die to the overpower, and he will die to the overpower. Soundproof respawns into the fight, has the Quails, but Dire are just too fast. That was so close to being a good fight for the Radiant, but alas, poor Radiants, they have lost the fight again.
That was one of those things where they got too greedy on Radiant. Yeah, they took a good fight. They're still behind, and they tried to take it 2-2. That's a little bit too much. That's one of those plays where you gotta understand that you took the fight on your side of the map. You had more heroes that responded. The Dawnbreaker ulti wasn't up, and when those 3 things didn't become true, that's why you're not supposed to take a fight right here when they have these up. So I think they got a little bit too greedy. Coddle barely living, only because his hero is stupidly fast. He doesn't even have the move speed talent yet, but I mean it is. Yeah, I do not like this build from him at all. I think this Ags is super bad.
I guess it is. It is more control, but it's not a stun. Speaking of
No.
stuns, Hook in by Pistia on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden will frostbite. Pistia purrs it with the illusion rune, and Crystal Maiden is dead.
I'd like them to go make a play on this Ursa bottom lane right now. They have just seen lots of heroes top. Lots of heroes have rotated top. This Ursa is literally Boots Battle Fury.
That appears to be the play
He
Radiant
is
are
the
making.
one
Problem is, look at these wards.
make
Look
a
at
play
Dire's
on.
vision. They see everything. 1 ward here, 2nd ward here, 3rd ward there. Dire have this fantastic vision. And as a result, they see Tano rotating through. So now it's Coddle dead. Wyvern had a brush with death via the Hook, but the Hook was a bit off the mark. So it's just possibly the right idea, but Dire are just a step ahead right now.
It's one of those things where you just The vision advantage is so...
Oh, Dr. Epic just respawned from dying to Pudge, but this time, Pudge will leave him. Says, you know what? You're cold and embraced. I'm not going to kill you. I better run from the gang squad. The gang squad that was aforementioned runs at Hoodwink. Buying Onions will pop his magic wand. Yes, he gets hooked away by Pishja. Nice Stalker can pursue. Has blinked in 3. He is broken, but he has ascended. Ice Yeti returns to the fight, breaking down Wyvern. The trade is for the Hoodwink, but Ice Yeti is the main target right now for the Radiant, as the Pudge will kill Night Stalker. Back to Yeti. He's incredibly low. He will enrage, but he's slowed by Soundproof. Hook will be dodged by Soundproof, but it means that Ice Yeti will survive. I believe that is a 2-for-1 trade in the dire side favor. Yes, it is. Again, it's 2 dead, including your core Night Stalker for only a support Hoodwink, but what can you do?
Seems like
long range
little...
hook from Pishya again on Crystal Maiden. Poor Dr. Epic, just in the wrong place at the wrong time for 1 more death. Curse hits on 3 with that extra Beastmaster aura. The Beastmaster is going to fall. Pishja blinks away, but Agile is the Radiant side target. Problem is there is a Bushwhack delaying the Bristleback, and that's Hook on Tano. Instead, Tano is 2/3 HP. Earthshocked by Yeti, brought down by Yeti. The break from long range hits on Wyvern. I think the fight will end. Never mind, Yeti has a Blink Dagger. He will run a Haptic, as will Pishja. Both blink in. Haptic gets demolished for the Dire team, and again, it's simply one more one-team fight for Team Bloosher Revamped.
Full blink on all 3 cores. Very, very hard to play as these backline 3 heroes they have. There was it was quite a while ago, but when they were diving with Night Stalker, it seemed like Night Stalker did a little bit of a tilt play where he dived all the way to the tier 3s to try to get the Hoodwink kill and got punished for it, and Hoodwink sent him a tip for his escapades deep into their territory.
You came close to getting the kills, I guess. I mean, the Hoodwink died, but it's just
Ursa.
not worth it.
Hunting.
Yeah, I mean, Ursa already hunted Roshan and now hunts Tano. Tano is a fast cuddle, but scanned and they have the boys. 4 heroes are on the way. Pishja blinks in. Sharpshooter will miss, but I don't think it's going to matter. Hook in from medium range makes the cuddle kill that much easier. End the rabbit chase. It'll be a 29th kill now for Team Bloosher Revamped.
Coddle TP'd and showed that he TP'd, and so they knew that he could not leave for another 20 seconds. They were able to dive him senselessly.
Technically, it was pretty senseful. I mean, sensible?
Yeah.
Full of sense, you know? It was,
yeah,
you see a free middle laner kill. Pretty smart.
Yeah, I just, like, it's hard for me to root for this Coddle Axe. As in, like, I can't imagine that the Radiant are like, guys, once we get this Coddle Axe, we'll be able to win fights. Like, I just don't... It doesn't provide damage. You could barely argue it provides control. It's more of just an annoyance. And, like, that one extra thing to worry about. And so it's nice if you're a support Coddle, and you can kind of just get it. Like
Another long-range hook by Pishja. Again, Pishja. He's warmed up and then some at this point. Radiant will attempt for counter kills. Agile, the target, will be the trade, but Dr. Epic is another trade. It's 2-for-1. Crystal Maiden buys back, and Bristleback will attempt the run forward. Has the Aghanim Scepter, putting his goo on everyone, but a long-range hook brings this away from his team. Soundproof gets demolished. Night Stalker will run at Jay. Jay will die to Tano's Illuminate. But so far, it certainly is good for the Dire, but at this point, they are out of resources to an extent, and they will back off somewhat.
You know what they have coming.
Oh, he's an Aghanim Scepter on Pudge. Good spot. But Radiant blink after him anyways. Rot is not online. Dessel has hit Pishja the hook. This time off the mark. Yeti is frostbitten, but Sharpshooter from long range brings down Haptic. Yeti has blink in 5. The Radiant, the remainder of them will get away, but It's simply one more pickup going beside of onions, and that's the lead extended now up to 11k.
Pudge is gonna dive. Pudge looks like he's licking his lips. Guess he's just looking at the creep wave at the moment, but he definitely could very easily dive this call.
He's ready for the action. I mean, look at this man in his cosmetics. That was the face of the man who wants to run with opponents. He has like some World of Warcraft shaman mask. Like this man is ready to run. He's ready to run in there with some Tauren Warcry and just demolish some noobs. And
he's ready to show them what it means to feel fear. And you see Dire grouping in the top lane. Wonder what I guess they're just gonna try to take the top tier 2? Maybe?
yeah, I mean, it'll make sense. Dire are positioned S3 right now. They have how many wards do they have on them right now? They have no wards on them, so there's not too much vision they can get in the area, but I guess looking at Dire vision, they don't really need to see too much. Oh, there's the wards. They're dead.
It's sad.
You know, wards not needed. They have a hawk.
This is true. Power of Beastmaster. And then they look like they're gonna poke Tiger. Wyvern actually has his own Blink Dagger, countering the enemy Blink Dagger. So does Night Stalker. When's the CM Blink coming out?
Instead, it will be a Force Staff, so alas. Hook. A bit short by Pistia. Now Radiant know he's there, but instead will turn towards Ice Yeti. His Aegis will expire. Pistia runs in for Soundproof. Illusion Rune again activated. He has another Illusion Rune. Dire, their BKBs are running out on the Ursa. Sharpshooter will hit Night Stalker. Pistia again is blinked in, hooking the Night Stalker as Winter Skirts hits on 2. WeLostThis will get embraced by his Wyvern. Roar! Now used! WeLostThis dead. Lewis hits on 3. Pistia dead. Jay dropping. Agile low. Jay dead. Agile dead. Radiant! They turned it around! They see Ice Yeti. No Aegis. BKB on cooldown. Life on cooldown. 4 dead. For Team Bloosher Revamped. And suddenly, WeLostThis might not have lost this game.
CM did 3,000 damage that fight. I guess that's the combo. Nobody cancels the CM ult, and you just do it on top of the Coddle ult, keep them in it. Although I think the Coddle was actually pulling them away from the freezing field. They just really wanted to not get kills. A Bristleback, with his back turned, and spamming quills and goo, he got out 4,500 damage per fight.
That's a lot of damage. We're seeing the overall AoE combination. I mean, this is the idea behind that Coddle Axe. You have Lewis on top of your Curse, on top of your Freaking on top of this Bristleback AoE Viscous Nasal Goo, and you just throw on everything. And you just hope it works. And in that fight, it worked.
I think they need to be a little bit more cautious. CM can do the deeps. Ulti's no joke. It's like each thingy of ult is 170 damage. It's a lot. It adds up quick. I think now that Pistia has his Eternal Shroud, maybe looking to sit a little bit more pretty. They're going for Lotus Orbs. Or they did have a Lotus Orb queued up on Beastmaster. He's actually changing it to an Aghanim's. And he went Crimson Guard?
This is definitely a bit off the beaten path build-wise. You see a lot of this Hamley over with a lot of early Ags if it's not that. And Jay goes for the more classic build of just Auras and Blink. And Jay might use it right now. Blinks in the Roar on Beastmaster with a break from medium range, and that will do it. Soundproof dead. Biggest kill that Dire could have gotten obtained. The trade will be for that top tier 2 tower, so Radiant can grab this tower, can head to the south, grab that outpost in the Dire side jungle, and that will be sub-map control gained.
This game is heating up. It's getting a little spicy.
And Hishia makes it even spicier. The curse on 3 as return. Tano dies to the rot. And now it's Agile healing his teammates up, dropping the Wraith Pact. And well, the idea was good, but alas, the damage was a bit too short. T2 mid dead, but as that happens, top lane, WeLostThis is hitting a T3 tower. Problem is, in comes the big bad fat man, Hishia himself. Blink, rot, dismember, damage, too much. WeLostThis in the grave.
Interesting. Pudge went for the meat hook cooldown. Usually you see people go the dismember duration just because it's so much extra damage with the 25 talent, but he decides more hookies.
Hishia has been a hook enjoyer all game. He's looking for some late game hook action. We are looking at the next Roshan. There is a Beastmaster Hawk in the pit. Dire know it can be alive. Problem is, it's not alive. It's a relatively late respawn on the higher end, though not towards the extreme. I think it was about a minute 40 or so, so around the middle, actually.
Fishja does not know, but he is actually completely sitting in vision when he's throwing those hooks. Especially now that it's daytime.
What can you do?
You know what? I don't think people understand just how much vision the Ancient actually has. Like, let's say there's no buildings in the Radiant base. This is how far the Ancient sees. Like, the Ancient sees about that far.
That's pretty far.
So when he's standing, like, right here, the Ancient can literally see him. It's literally no other building but the Ancient that sees him right there. So.
No, that actually, it's very interesting.
Yeah. So it's
Soundproof
barely gets out.
I think he knows how close to death he was on that one. That was flirting with danger, but danger did not find him today.
Oh, wow! That husband cult hurts.
It did damage. But the consequential attempt will be middle lane. A roar onto the bristleback. The curse is on 3. Soundproof will BKB. Ascension activated. Sweep in on 4 with the Will-O-Wisp. Jay dead. Soundproof still alive. And now Radiant are kiting around. Agile is incredibly low. The hook again. Dr. Epic the trade. Agile, no! He's still alive. The bash from Ice Yeti keeping the Dawnbreaker alive. WeLostThis must run away from the fight. And at this point, it is Ursa wrecking a ton of damage. This time on Haptic's Wyvern. Wyvern will fall. Sharpshooter nearly hits the Night Stalker. So with the Sharpshooter averted, the disaster is somewhat abated, but still a 1 fight for the Dire side.
Really, like, a lot of clumping from the Dire. And you see the power. They've got 4 melee heroes that all want to get on top of each other. And so I mean, the curse just grouped them up beautifully for lots of AoE spells to be landed on them. But they just didn't have damage. Like, they had 4 heroes all within 50 units of each other for a good 5 seconds. And no damage became of it because they had to continue them. They have no stuns to continue them being in that position, and no damage to kill them while they're in that position. The Bristle had to just peace out right at the start of the fight.
A bit unfortunate, because that was, let's see, another fight that came really close to going really well for the Radiants, but a little bit short. And as a result, Dire get that second Roshan of the game. Aegis is on Ice Yeti. Shard also went to Ice Yeti, so he's one happy Ursa bear. And, well, if you look where the Radiant are, they're in their base, which I guess is a safe place to be, but it means you will not be farming too heavily, and that means your current 15k deficit will only grow. Dire, I mean, they can wait all night long if they want to. They have the tier 2s. They have an overwhelming quantity of nap control. They can farm wherever they want.
Yeah, I would really like to see Dire. I think Agile is doing exactly what he needs to do. When you own the entire map like this, it's really smart to just farm your own jungles. You're like Dawnbreaker, Spectre, Nature's Prophet, what have you, who is can very easily connect to the fight. Looks like they're gonna murk Agile in the bottom lane. This is always what can happen as you're that one solo hero.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to be alone. He could contribute Solar Guardian if the fight came elsewhere. Problem is, the fight came to him. And that will be one death on Dawnbreaker. Pistia and Nice Yeti will attempt vengeance. But Radiant have the vision via the Night Stalker. Will-O-Wisp hits only on one. Pistia blinks in, dismembering Dr. Epic. Crystal Maiden is very dead. Crystal Maiden has bought back. Dire, with BKB's ending quite soon. Ice Yeti has expired. Jay is silenced. Ice Yeti is low. He may lose one life. Hook him by Pistia. On I Lost This. Yeti again is man fighting. He's kiting around. No, he's being kited around instead. Now Pistia again blinks in. Dismember up again. This time on Wyvern. Ice Yeti returns to the fight. Haptic dead. Roaring on Soundproof. Soundproof will get bashed down to the grave. I Lost This is being kited by the boars. By the Pudge. He too is dead. And again, oh, Dr. Epic will dodge the hook, but I think he's not long for life. Bushwhack misses, but he's being slowed. Hook up in one, not even needed. Triple kill for Ice Yeti, and again, Team Bloosher Revamped lose a fight where it looked bad for part of it, but they turn it around and they win the fight. And it seems like they'll get at least one, if not two, sets of racks out of the fight win.
I mean, that fight is kind of as good of a start as you're going to get for the Radiant. You go on the Dawnbreaker, which is kind of the turn hero that Dire has, and you're all 5 there at the start of the fight. You are able to isolate and kite this Ursa, forces BKB super early, but it didn't have enough in the tank. I mean, eventually the Roar is going to come out, the Dismember on a support is going to come out. Just some J hate.
Yeah, not the curse he wanted, unfortunately. This time on no secondary targets, and Pistia will look to avenge the HP Jay has lost by killing the bringer of the Winter's Curse. Now we see Aurora on Tano as
From
well.
behind.
Tano, he's actually being ignored to an extent by the Beastmaster, but the Ursa will not ignore him. Ursa will finish the job. Pistia has hook, hits it on Night Stalker. Pudge cannot dismember thanks to no silence, but it will not matter. Dire are absolutely fine at the current state of the fight. Pistia will TP away. There's no cancel for the TP, by the way. The only one was on cooldown, so now Radiant look for more kills. It's Agile. Being run at by I Lost This and Tano. He will again get silenced and blinding lit and solar bound and illuminated to his death. But again, Dire get a range Rax bottom lane, and actually, wait, that's it. Should they have more Rax out of that?
Yes, they should have. They may have dived behind the Ancient. And because of that, they did force Coddle buyback. So it wasn't like they got no objectives out of it. Coddle buyback is pretty big to get. I really think Coddle needs to go some sort of control. Saw Pudge able to TP out in the middle of everybody.
Well, here we go again. Dire hunt for more kills. There's multiple targets being gone upon. Dr. Epic dead. Haptic dead. I Lost This dead. Soundproof BKBs. And Tano kills Jay, but at this point, Radiant only have 2. Sharpshooter was already used, but Pistia actually missed the hook on Soundproof. Coddle is playing around with the Hoodwink, but it's 2 beefy cores running at Soundproof. Wyvern buys back, has the curse, will use it on 2, and Pudge will take significant damage, but he won't die quite yet. Pistia will dismember. Bristleback's front side. The Embrace is in, but the Hoodwink arrives. That's your magic damage you need, and well, Bristle is dead. He does have the buyback, but it's looking all dire at this point in the fight. Ice Yeti is being kited around, but the damage is not quite in range. And Rage activated. Solar Guardian will bring Agile into the action as well. Soundproof has fully healed by his buyback, but Dire are again hunting for more. Bristle is broken. Tano is stunned. Tano dieback. Soundproof dieback. Nightsucker bought back, but that too will be a dieback quite soon. It appears the BKB and run. So I guess he will not die back quite yet, but no Bristle, no Coddle, no fight win, and the game will be over. GG's called.
GG indeed. Definitely a much more competitive game than game one. I think this game still handedly in Dyer's favor, although a couple of fights were knife's edge. A couple of 50-50s go their way on the Radiant, and I mean, this game was definitely light years more winnable than the last game. So, I mean, I think this was probably, I mean, considering just the record difference alone, this game was a very good showing from We Lost This Rose. That like they are able to like give the Bloosher Revamped a couple of questions that they had to answer of like how exactly they were going to close out the game. But they did. They were able to coordinate their spells in a way to get double, almost triple dieback. But it definitely was not a walk in the park from the Bloosher Revamped. Definitely had to put their game faces on and really come out to play.
You know what? I have a prediction. We Lost This are not going to finish in 16th place. They are going to climb all the way to at least 15th place. I'm not going to predict more than that, but this is not a last place team.
I don't think it is either.
Absolutely not. But I think they absolutely could finish in like 15th or 14th. I think they're going to finish ahead of at least Toxic Tacos, maybe even since they're even one as well. So there's a chance this team, the latter probably a little more ambitious, but I think they definitely could. I mean, keep in mind, this team did 2-0 Tacos. I think they absolutely could end up ahead of Tacos when the season's all said and done. And in that game too, there was certainly some promising stuff there.
Yeah, I definitely think they just got outdrafted, like really hard outdrafted game one, and I think they just need to have much simpler drafts to execute. Game two's draft was so much easier to execute. The game plan was very, very simple to follow. Of like, we fight when we have Night Stalker ult. I also think they needed to like, I don't know, for what they could improve on. I think they didn't have a great like big picture vision. I think they need to have someone to like look at the big picture, be like, hey, let's say we see someone farming in the lane. We 5-man smoke. How do we engage them? Like even going on the Dawnbreaker, it looked a little difficult to do because they didn't really have any great initiation. I don't know. I think they definitely have some room to improve, obviously, but it's not as bad as it seems. That is my take.
Yeah. Yeah. But at this point, series is over. The expected result has occurred,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to wrap it up for the night. You got any more analysis before I go into my usual outro?
Take it away.
All right, thank you for joining me tonight, ColonelSquid. You got any final words? Call out, shouts to say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/Badger Pablo.
Shout out Bulljax.
XD is my response, but thank you to the viewers for tuning on in for the 2-0 victory of Team Bloosher Revamped as they extend their stranglehold over the first place in the league currently. My name is Badger. If you want me to cast your games, cast your tournaments, if you want to hire me and Logical to cast your DPC or other pro tournaments for some money, then contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/badgerdota2, or on Discord, Badger number 5713. I actually might be off for a few days at least. I am going on a little bit of a break, doing a 3-day vacation, so might not be back until at least next Sunday. Might do tomorrow night, but probably not. Probably see you on either Sunday or Monday, so when that occurs, I will be back, hopefully for some more dotes, but if not, then I'll see you whenever I'm back. Thank you to the viewers again for tuning in, and as always, thanks for watching, and have a great night.